Shall we start? No? Ladies first?
No, say it, because I think it sounds really nice with your accent.
What, Archwell Audio?
Yeah.
Archwell Audio.
I mean...
Really?
Shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright, today is December 11, 2022. It is 2:47 a.m. I should not be recording at all today because I have a lot of editing to do. But when these things are piling up, when days pass and I don't record them, they're no longer relevant to me anymore. But I know many of you are not on Twitter. Anything that I share with you is pretty much some sort of information. So I'm piling up as many recording as I can and then edit them as I go along as well. Okay, so let's go on Twitter. New subscribers, welcome. Oh, by the way, this video, it's when was that? 2020 or maybe last year. I don't remember which birthday it was. Okay, it says Harry 37th birthday. I did it, but there was some I don't know. I was talking about something on my community board. I think it when the Prince Yoso was putting that robe around Harry, and I remember putting that particular video on that particular video, the birthday video, and I was searching for the birthday video. I didn't see it, and I think the reason I deleted it on my channel is because YouTube needed to review my channel. They didn't approve me to be in the monetization program, so anything that had copyright issues videos, I took them out. So this one was one of them, so I re-uploaded. I didn't make any money off of it. It's just for the fun of it, and I put it right back up just to show people what I was talking about. So yeah, that's why it's there. Right, so let's go on Twitter. Okay, so there's a lot of videos from LBC and James O'Brien, and one from a Tory MP that I'm gonna be sharing with you. Okay, so I'm gonna try my best not to go too much onto the comment section, but I'll read some of them. Okay, so this one is 35 seconds. The caption says, this caller says she was upset at Meghan for making fun of the curtsy and adding that it's unforgivable. My goodness, unforgivable. Unforgivable. Meghan was making fun of herself. It's unforgivable for someone making fun of herself. But yet, you have your politician like really putting their hands at your neck. You can even hit your house, put food on the table and all of that. But Meghan Markle, who's making fun of herself, it's unforgivable. The mindset over there, it's unbelievable. Okay, so 35 seconds. Let's hear what she has to say.
The thing that really upset me was the, if you like, I saw it as making fun of this so-called curtsy to our late Queen, and that was the protocol, and I think most people in the world would know that was the protocol when you met the Queen, that you didn't have to, but it was, you know, seen that you curtsied. So it's a protocol, if I understand, because English is my second language. Protocol means this is what you must do, right? And then there she's saying on the same breath that you don't have to do it. What Meghan was sort of saying, from my understanding, she thought
and private setting where it's just family members. You don't really have to do that to each other. But don't you remember what she did during the funeral? How deep down of a courtesy she did? And she did it better than all of the royals. But anyway, let me listen to her crap.
I really thought that was unforgivable, and I'm sure she didn't throw her arms out like that.
Oh, God. Okay, Meghan was making fun of herself. Okay, I have never seen a country so full of people looking under rocks to find ways to be the victim, be offended and whine. Good grief, she was making fun of herself. That's what I thought too. She was making fun of herself, and she was embarrassed for being so awkward. Grow up for God's sake and stop. There's the rolling eye. All right. I never imagined that the British people were like that either. I got suspicious, but they are worse than I imagined. Many people in the UK actually love to gossip. Okay, well, I watched it, and it certainly looked like she was marking having to courtesy to Her Majesty the Queen. Okay, I dared that caller to Wang James and said the same thing. I know. I don't know. I love James O'Brien. Okay, this makes me really uncomfortable. MPs pay. There's the issues that's going in the UK. MPs pay has increased by 28% since 2010. This is in stark contrast to the pay of your average civil servant, which has increased in cash terms by a mere of 12% in the same period, a significant real-term pay cut. MPs also don't have to worry about a lack of pay progression because they are all paid as spot rate salary from day one in the job. What is it? Doesn't prime ministers, they get 100,000 pound even after they left office? That what's her name? Is it Liz Truss? That few seconds she was in that position, she got that amount for life. Okay, until she's gone. And then I think, from my understanding, from what I've heard, she's gonna have protection as well. So she's done with. She doesn't even need to work a day in her life anymore. But you guys are worrying about Meghan, who's making fun of herself. All right, let me move on to the next one. Okay, the next video, next tweet. Okay. All right. So as someone who believes that most people's minds are already made up about Harry and Meghan, one way or the other, and are unlikely to change, I'm happy to be proven wrong. Okay. She retweeted this. My mom hated Meghan, believe everything she's read. She just rang me to say she's watched the documentary and I was right. The Daily Mail are scum and Meghan was right. Yeah, a lot of minds are changing. All right. There's this here. Let me read whatever's on this. All right, because I thought this was a video. Let's see here. Watch part 1 of Harry and Meghan with someone whose attitude about the couple changed before my eyes once they heard the couple story in their own words. The truth is powerful. We should try it more often to counter racism and hatred.
I know we can rely on you for being a great guy. So what an incredible friend you were to Meghan Markle is. Have you guys hung out at all since then?
No, we haven't spoken. She just wrote me a very nice thank you letter and I framed it, and that was very nice of her to do. She just appreciated that I was honest, but it's so funny that we live in a time where everyone's like, it's such a big deal. I just did the right thing.
Right.
You know, it's okay to feel like that should be the norm and the status quo, but it's like, whoa, it's so crazy. He told the truth. I think we should all be a little more honest.
Well, thank you for doing the right thing.
Okay, they're putting more other people tweets whose mind have changed. Okay, I saw some comments like this on news article posted on Facebook, like, quote, I didn't like them until I watched this, end quote. In general, I've seen positive comments outweighing the negative by an overwhelming large margin. I'm seeing more and more of these stories and I'm loving it. If you go into watching it open, there is no way you don't walk away being absolutely disgusted with the tabloid. That will be the lasting triumph of the series. Bring on the stats and lawyers for Thursday. Okay, there's a large, and some of the things that I'm also seeing as well, that the people who work in the news outlet and things like that, they're coming out. They're telling where their sources are coming from. okay, from the palace.
It's Harry and Meghan's war on the press and the media.
That's
and
true.
as they say at the start of episode 1, they say so many books and shows and stories have been written about us. We wanted to have our own say. And remember, the purpose of the PR office at the royal family is to keep the royals in the press all the time. So you have to remember, when I work in newsrooms, it's a fact that every anti-Harry and Meghan story comes from Kensington Palace. It's a fact that every anti-Harry and Meghan story comes from Kensington Palace.
Much of the negativity towards the couple is coming from within the royal family.
It's a fact that every anti-Harry and Meghan story comes from Kensington Palace.
The royal family and staff of the royal family are the ones that are very often leaking these stories to the press.
It's a fact that every anti-Harry and Meghan story comes from Kensington Palace. Story comes from Kensington Palace.
But why
and if it comes from Kensington Palace, why are they briefing against their own grandson?
Well, okay, that's a very the idea.
Why are there never any
I think that's fascinating
about Prince William?
Were William and Kate involved in briefing against them originally? I don't know. That's a good point. But having a war on the media, I don't know whether that's worth the candle.
What it means is that a senior figure in the royal household...
The most likely outcome is that Jason obviously would have then gone to William and Kate. The most likely outcome is that Jason obviously would have then gone to William and Kate.
A senior figure in the royal household, according to Mail on Sunday, was passing him information in order to help defeat the Duchess's case.
Prince William.
Were William and Kate involved in briefing against them originally? I don't know. That's a good point. But having a war on the media, I don't know whether that's worth the candle.
Have been, as we know, is that the Mail on Sunday had the ruling against them in February, and they were then appealing it. So it was lawyers from the Mail on Sunday who would have approached Jason Naff, knowing that these emails and messages existed. That would have been the point. And unless, I mean, the most likely outcome is that Jason obviously would have then gone to William and Kate. And clearly he has cooperated. He would not have cooperated with those lawyers without their definite knowledge.
Ted Verity, the editor of the Mail on Sunday, said in his signed witness statement that he had been given information that helped support Associated's case. He said this information came from a senior palace source.
The most likely outcome is that Jason obviously would have then gone to William and Kate.
And he said in his witness statement this was, quote, not gossip or tittle-tattle.
What does that mean?
What it means is that a senior figure in the royal household...
The most likely outcome is that Jason obviously would have then gone to William and Kate.
According to Mail on Sunday, was passing him information in order to help defeat the Duchess's case.
Prince William.
Were William and Kate involved in briefing against them originally? I don't know.
Knowing that these emails and messages existed, that would have been the point. And unless, I mean, the most likely outcome is that Jason obviously would have then gone to William and Kate. And clearly he has cooperated. He would not have cooperated with those lawyers without their definite knowledge.
Okay, there's this. There are no firm opinion going out there to fight for. Okay, right, me too. Let's see this, and then after that, that's it. It's like Trump supporters after watching the January 6 hearings. These are the same people, by the way. There's that. Harry and Meghan are genuinely good people, not perfect. No one is. This documentary is historic, captivating, and compelling, and will shape the perceptions of many for years to come. Forget the crown. This woman's reaction is what Harry and Meghan's detractors fear. Okay, it's mostly the other way around. Laughing my ass off. Sure, Jen. Okay, if you actually fact check them, your mom is right. Whatever, but they're telling their truth. If you wanna believe otherwise, look at this. You guys are still complaining about a court case. She has proven herself. You keep on saying she's lying, but whatever. Be on your own bubble. Next tweet. But one of the things that I've said a while back before I even knew they were doing documentary, could have been 2 years ago. One of the things I remember saying, it may not be 2 years ago. One of the things that I remember saying after reading so many freaking nonsense about the UK, and I was like, the only thing, Meghan needs to tell her own story. If she doesn't want to put it out there, at least write it somewhere, or when she passed, someone, a lawyer or something, to put it out there for her. Long and behold, she's braver than most people. She's telling her own story. Alright, so that's that. Alright, next tweet. I suspect Harry and Meghan are a distraction from the disaster of Brexit. The false promises and glaring failure keep the sheep fed with ridiculous hate of an army veteran who was once their favorite. Remember when Camilla and Charles said she'd never be Queen consort? There's the ruling eye. Harry and Meghan aren't the liars. Okay, every single promise has been broken, every single lie has been exposed, and it has barely started. James O'Brien thought playing back these Brexit promises would be fun, but was instead left fuming. Okay, 5 minutes and 36 seconds. Let's see here.
And in fact, it's probably worth reminding you of the kind of campaigning that led our correspondent there to put his cross in the wrong box back in 2016. This is absolutely real. If there were Nobel Prizes for lying, I think that this would be in with a very good chance of winning.
You'll benefit from better care provided by our NHS thanks to the reallocation of funds from the EU budget.
Lie.
Controlled immigration.
You know what I'm thinking about? As I listen to that particular, how do they call this, commercial they're making for Brexit, if you look at some futuristic kind of movies where they're making videos about things that happen, this is what I'm saying. These people are trying to recreate those futuristic things and then with lies, and then put you in the gutter. That's what it reminds me of, those futuristic movies where they're making commercials of things where they're advertising to you. That's what this sounds to me.
Will lead to reduced waiting times for you and your loved ones.
How's that working out for you?
Excess funding that would otherwise be sent to Brussels could also be directed to education.
You know what? All of these, to tell you the truth, are very good ideas if they had followed through. But what happened is, from the outside, what I'm seeing, I'm not in the UK, what I'm seeing is that as they making those how do you call this, those particular laws, doing different things to make this thing happen, and then when it actually happened, they couldn't believe it, people fall for it. But now the people who are in power, they think of themselves only, they put things in their pocket. This is the problem. If they had followed through with that blueprint that they're saying, perhaps it would have worked out. But greed got in the way. Greed got in the way. Because in a democracy system, if, for instance, they were in the European Union, everybody was doing well. If that thing was working fine for you, why change it? Instead, why don't you improve it? But what these people did, okay, they create this futuristic ideal, sell it to the people, and the people ate it. And at the same time, when they were selling those things to the people, crazy shit was happening to them already with those people in power. So the people bought it, and then those politicians, oh my God, it's a miracle. They actually bought it. They voted us back in. What did they do? Now, they forget about the people who put them in the position to make that blueprint work for them, for the people, but instead, they focus on themselves, meaning the politician focus on themselves, put things in their pocket. From what I've read, go back to some of my old videos, give themselves contract without any sort of, bid, bring different people to bid for it. This is where the government could have saved money, different companies who do different things, bid for a project, and then whoever has the compelling pricing and based on their background, what they do, okay, you give them the contract. But no, they literally give themselves the contract and put packeting the thing. And then where are the people now? They can't even feed themselves. Food banks is over. Go watch my video with what did I call that video? I specifically created so I don't keep on putting it here. The squirrel thing. Okay, go look at the misery that's going on in the UK. Some of the videos that I was able to find and I have in my possession, so I put it in that video. Okay, go watch that. The misery that's in the UK right now. And don't get me wrong, the US would have been in the same thing, in the same position, but we fought too. But anyway, let's listen.
Meaning better prospects for your children.
Absolute
Your wages will rise thanks to better controlled immigration,
here we go.
which will lead to less competition for jobs. Your weekly food shop will become cheaper.
Oh, that's
Food
good.
prices will no longer be inflated by agricultural policies controlled by the EU.
Okay, so how is that going for you? What was it? Was it last year where Bojo was saying how kids' meal should be put? They're giving you half of a carrot or half of an apple. Who does that? But the people seems to be okay with it. All right. Was it Rashford feeding the kids, school children? What happened? Because of a football a game that was supposed to be something for a distraction, they bash him. His racism and all of this was thrown at him. But they forgot all the good thing Rashford was doing. I highlighted on my channel. Okay, how is the food going on for some of those idiots whose head is still under the in the sand? Some of them see the light, but not all.
Absolute
You and your
hogwash.
family will benefit from a resurgent economy led by new and flourishing small businesses following the removal of burdensome EU regulations and red tape.
Okay, how is that going for you? The red tag, there's a reason for that. To put everybody in check, to do the right thing. Okay? You have sewage. People, the company who's supposed to treat it sewage thing. Okay? Instead, now there's no red flag. Nobody's checking them. What did they do? They let it go in the water. Places that you go swim. How is that going for you? This is why those red flags, the barriers, okay, were put in place to check them, to make sure they're doing the right thing, so you, the people, don't suffer. How is that going for you, UK? The people who voted for this.
With less pressure on housing, younger generations will also find it easier to get on the housing ladder.
I thought this was going to be funny.
Politicians, both local and national,
It's not funny, is it?
will become more accountable, helping to strengthen your community.
This is
and
Farage's
others,
lot, by the way.
especially those most damaged by EU policies, like farming, fishing, and industries like
Okay, how is the fishing going for you? Because I heard there was issues. What is it? How do they call this? That imaginary line where the was it different countries or whatever? But that's your problem. Deal with that.
A more prosperous and safer future awaits us outside the EU. A vote to leave is a vote for a brighter future for you, your family, and your community.
Right. I mean, apart from the cheesy music, that is absolutely reprehensible. I'm going to play that again because I told Keith to leave the mic open so I could do a sort of very, very, very poor Graham Norton tribute act as if we were doing the Eurovision Song Contest, and I'd come in with some pithy comments. I'm actually livid. I'm actually quite upset because I played that out to you just after reading a text from someone who is describing themselves as gutted, someone who's poorly, someone who's in and out of hospital all the time and believed those lies, and by believing those lies contributed, and this is why he's beating himself up, contributed to making everything worse. So next time you see Farage baring his filthy teeth on the telly, just think about this. And the other fella, the one who I bumped into in Soho the other night, what's his name? He's still knocking around somewhere, isn't he, with a political party? They were behind this. This is them. Still out there, demanding your attention.
And the other thing, too, that I've said, when Trump was in position, what they were planning on doing, it's almost like those, where gangs have different spots. They own certain location, okay? So these people were trying to on their own little spot and controlling it, okay? Where what I believe was going to happen is that the US and the UK, we're gonna team up together to create that market system, okay, to become that huge market system where, you know, the world will be most envy of. But what happened is the way Trump was running the country was so despicable. It was like a freaking mafia kind of thing. All right, the people said, no, we reject that. You can't do whatever you want. Okay, there's laws in place. He's going through some stuff right now in the US, Trump, that is. Okay, so the people voted. They went out and said, no, it's not gonna happen. And this is why now the ripple effect of 2020 in the US is affecting the UK, because we sort of cut the umbilical cord, the plan that they were gonna do. This is my perspective from the outside. I'm not a political analytic. All right, this is what I was seeing, and I've said this before, either after the 2020. But what happened is they're still pushing for it. Okay, both in the US and in the UK. All right, but the UK is in a deeper shit because what happened in 2020 sort of don't give them any. They almost like under the water. But the US, on the other hand, their head is above the water already, but they're trying to get to the lifeboat. Okay, we're still in the same freaking problem, but we are in much better space. So the US sort of, the 2020 election sort of put a halt to their nonsense, and then the midterm election even put the US in a deeper thing, because we reject a lot of those people who were for this, okay, for this kind of idea. We're still fighting. There's still more to go, because they're still fighting to push for that same crazy idea where Trump was in office. Even though they're trying to distance themselves from Trump, guess what? Once they elect one of them and they have the power, guess what? The same kind of idea, just a different face. Okay, so let me finish that.
Placing your votes. Incredible, really. This is them. This is leave.eu. This is the Farage side of it, not the Cummings side of it. Listen to this again. Listen to every syllable of it.
Okay,
and then send me a text saying that you're absolutely delighted with how everything is going because you got exactly what you voted for.
Okay, I'm not gonna listen to it. Let me move it somewhere over here. Oops, what happened now? Did I mess it up? Oh, shit. I should have just let it play. Okay, so maybe I'll fast forward a bit. Okay, it's not playing anymore. Forget it. Okay, so that was it. Okay, there's also the 100 million plus a year going to an independently wealthy family. Nah, talking about the royal family. The thing is not working anymore. I don't know what happened. Okay, so let's put it back.
Outside the EU, a vote to leave is a vote for a brighter future for you, your family, and your community.
And still, there are corners of the media, the fourth estate, the tribune of the people, the means by which the public can find out what the politicians are really doing. And in the United Kingdom in 2022, the media is part of a conspiracy of silence about the absolute catastrophe of a project they sold to an undeserving public. Oh, you don't believe in democracy? That lies they tell. Just any time someone says to you that people who wanted a second referendum or people who are still opposed to Brexit, anytime anybody says to you that they're anti-democratic, just play them that and remind them that we're not anti-democratic, we're anti-liar.
Anti-liar. And the other thing too, during those period where the Tory were in full power, well, they are still. One of the things that I was seeing is that I didn't share with you, maybe I did in some videos, I don't know, but one of the things that I was seeing they were aiming at is to put laws to prevent people from going out and protest. Okay, and at the same time, what I was seeing as well is that the monarchy was in a very shaky ground. They still are, but and I saw it's hard to explain because I saw it. It's hard, like I said, it's hard for me to explain. And then, and what I was seeing with the shaky ground, the Queen was still alive. The shaky ground that the monarch was in, the some of the laws that they were putting to make sure the monarch is still in power, still in existence. I don't know. It's the only way people will understand what I'm saying now is people who've been listening to me for a while, because it's very hard to explain, because they don't say, I mean, those politicians are not gonna come out and tell you this is what I'm gonna do, this is that. Okay, they have to put a front. Okay, sell you something like what Jim Osborne was just showing you, was playing for you. Okay, they have to put out a front, but their full intention is in the background. But what I was seeing through their action is what was happening in the background, their full intention. So it's hard for me to show you, to explain to you, because they were showing something completely different. All right, so that's it with this. Let's go to the next tweet. But I hope the UK is waking up. Next one. Oh my God, this one is something else. This one was going berserk. I think this might be the, I have 1, 2, 3 more tweets to share with you, but this one probably gonna be long. And I have another video I'm gonna make because it doesn't have that much of a video from the LBC. All right, here we go. Prince Harry is trashing our country as though it is a racist hellhole, says Tory MP Bab Seeley, who is planning to bring forward legislation that could see the Sussexes stripped of their titles. Did I play this? I feel like I played that already. Oh my God.
I do think his willingness to trash his family and to try to hurt them, I do think is incredibly sad. I mean, personally, I think Netflix have paid a great deal of money for, frankly, not a lot, and there's some real barrel scraping going on. But the broader point is that the royal family are part of this country's constitution. This is not a Republican versus monarchist argument. It's simply a statement of fact. They're part of this country's constitution. And I do think if Harry wishes to trade on his titles, which sadly he seems to be doing,
you are a MP, okay? You are an MP. Do your duty, set a bill, and do what needs to be done to strip him off of his title that his grandmother gave him. Okay, I think I played this. I think I did this already, but why do I feel like, why is it here? But let's continue.
Whilst at the same time trashing parts of our constitution, I do think Parliament has a role here, simply because the royal family are not there by divine right.
Look at how he closes his eye. There's like something really deep going in his brain. Something really deep going in his brain.
They lost that battle 350 years ago when King Charles I had his head cut off by Parliament. The monarchy rules effectively with the grace and permission of the British people and a sovereign Parliament. And I just think if Harry's going to sit there saying how awful it is, and if he's going to trash out...
Harry never said anything about the... trashing anything about the royal family or the constitution or whatever laws the UK has. Harry never said anything about that.
Country as being this sort of racist hellhole, which actually quite the opposite. It's one of the best examples in the world of a multiracial society. It's not perfect.
Okay, can I come in on a couple of those things that you said there? Yeah. I've only watched 2 of the 3 episodes that have dropped, so maybe in episode 3 he trashed Britain as a racist hellhole, but in the previous episodes he actually describes how a senior editor in this country said, get used to it, this country, when the headline started about Straight Outta Compton and all the rest of it, he said privately to Harry, get used to it, this, Britain is full of bigots, it's a racist country. And Harry said very, very firmly in the first 2 episodes, can't remember if it was 1 or 2 now, it said, I absolutely don't believe that. I absolutely disagree with him. Now, this is a man who's gone around the country since he was a kid, meeting all kinds of people on, tours with his mother and father, and he's clearly got affection for the British people.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, I'm sorry. I have.
You didn't watch the thing. You come with your preconception thing. Look at his face. Something really deep is going on in his brain that nobody's buying, and he's really pissed off about it. I really think I did this already. Let me pause this to make sure so I don't waste my time recording it again.
1 eternity later.
Okay, so I went to check some of the videos I didn't edit yet. Yes, I did this already. So this came on my list again. So I did this already. So I'm gonna stop. You could Google and look at my other videos. Okay, so I did that. So let's go to the next tweet. Okay, there's this here. Strip Duke and Duchess of Sussex of titles, said Tory MPs. Okay, Harry and Meghan, strip Duke and Duchess of Sussex of titles, said Tory MPs. Two senior MPs are calling for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex to have their royal titles removed. Okay, strip them. That will just make them more iconic. They don't get it. If they accomplish this, it will be the only thing a Tory has ever accomplished in the last 12 years. Alright, plus if you strip Harry's title for no good reason, but leave the child rapists, racist, cheaters, and financially corrupt royals in place, you turn Harry into a global martyr and the UK becomes a global villain. Okay, again, I beg you, open the Pandora box, just do it. I've been saying this for a while. Because some people are saying in my comment section, oh, it's about his identity. Yes, we understand all of that. But the only thing I would hate to see happen is that Harry give it back. I will be very pissed if Harry give it back. Because it was a gift that his grandma gave it to him. Okay, so they bug him about everything. Each time they bug him about something, he resolve it. They bug him about the Frogmore, he paid back. They bug him about his wife being in the UK, he left. So now this is the only thing that they have of him. I wish Harry never, I'm hoping Harry don't give it back freely, because this was a gift his grandmother gave him. If they really want it, they need to come and take it from him. And then you see now the squad are saying some of the things. Because these people think it's the title that makes Harry who he is. They don't think about his character, the kind of work that he's doing, things that he stood for, things that he's fighting for. They don't think about all of that. They think it's just the title. But let the MPs go do it. Alright, go watch that video. I don't have the thumbnails for it yet because I didn't edit yet. That part where the MP was talking about Harry and stuff like that. And then I cut it short. Again, I beg you, open the Pandora box, just do it. Right? At this point, I'm just like, I dare you. Okay? I mean, if they're just going to constantly complain about the royal family on every platform, they can. They obviously don't want to be members anymore. Take out their titles and disinherit them.
The decision that I have made for my wife and I to step back is not one I made lightly. It was so many months of talks after so many years of challenges. And I know I haven't always gotten it right, but as far as this goes, there really was no other option.
They obviously don't want to be members anymore. Take out their titles and disinherit them.
What I want to make clear is we're not walking away. And we certainly aren't walking away from you.
They obviously don't want to be members anymore. Take out their titles and disinherit them.
Our hope was to continue serving the Queen, the Commonwealth, and my military associations, but without public funding.
They obviously don't want to be members anymore. Take out their titles and disinherit them.
Unfortunately, that wasn't possible. I've accepted this, knowing that it doesn't change who I am or how committed I am. But I hope that helps you understand what it had come to, that I would step my family back from all I have ever known, to take a step forward into what I hope can be a more peaceful life.
They obviously don't want to be members anymore. Take out their titles and disinherit them. And he will still be a blood prince. This, you guys can deny him all of that. You want the title, do what you need to do to take the titles away. Alright, there's this one. They never complain about the royal family. Alright, which is true. This video is 51 seconds. I have this in another video as well, where this lady and a bigger part, the original, well, not original, this is, well, let's listen to it.
Books and shows and stories, when actually it's Harry and Meghan's war on the press and the media.
That's
and
true.
as they say at the start of episode 1, they say so many books and shows and stories have been written about us, we wanted to have our own say. And remember, the purpose of the PR office at the royal family is to keep the royals in the press all the time. So you have to remember, when I work in newsrooms, it's a fact that every anti-Harry and Meghan story comes from Kensington Palace.
But why?
And then you have Dan Wooten who's saying the same thing. Okay? The negativity, all the negativity is coming from the royal family. The royal family are the one who's leaking to the press.
Much of the negativity towards the couple is coming from within the royal family. The royal family and staff of the royal family are the ones that are very often leaking these stories to the press.
And there's this lady saying the exact same thing. Two people saying the exact same thing. Okay? And she's also explaining this is Harry's problem is with the press, not with the country, not with his family, even though he probably does know his family is leaking things, but he's blaming it on the press.
And if it comes from Kensington Palace,
Right.
why are they briefing against their own grandson?
Well, that's a very the idea.
Why are they never?
Well, I think that's
That's the thing here. Why are they briefing against their own? Okay? They don't see this as a negative thing on them for briefing against their own, because what they expected was that Harry to shut his mouth. They never expected Harry to leave. So they wanted to look good all the time, but Harry is the bad guy. Harry is the bad guy. Negative press, but the brother is always good, is always this, is always that. I mean, eventually the bubble gonna have to burst.
Fascinating.
About Prince William.
Well, William and Kate involved in briefing against them originally, I don't know. That's a good point. But having a war on the media,
we know about the what happened in court. Who was leaking things to the press? The same newspaper Meghan was suing. Who was leaking information to them? It is on record. And then you have those other royal rights who saying Jason Kunoff will not have gone to the press if they didn't get the okay from William and Kate, because he was working for William and Kate. Alright, we know for a fact. Right? Oh, it didn't finish.
I don't know whether that's worth the candle. Lucy and
yeah, it's worth the candle because the truth is coming out. Okay, do your Tory MPs have the same energy for the Duke of York, Prince Andrew's title too? Serious question considering. Okay, the grand old Duke of York, he had 12 million quid. He gave it to someone he never met for something he never did. Caps not cut Andrew. Okay, what is that? Okay, caps not cut Prince Andrew to keep £300,000 a year taxpayers funded bodyguard after complaining to the Queen. But this is okay. So what is that now? Okay, today Prince Andrew yet again sought to falsely portray himself to the public as eager and willing to cooperate with an ongoing federal criminal investigation into sex trafficking and related offenses committed by Jeffrey Epstein and his associates. Even though the prince has not given an interview to federal authorities, has repeatedly declined our request to schedule such an interview and nearly 4 months ago, informed us unequivocally through the very same counsel who issued today's release that he will not come in for such an interview. If Prince Andrew is in fact serious about cooperating with the ongoing federal investigation, our doors remain open and we await words of when we should expect him. I covered this in little bits and pieces, whatever that came, and I share it with you. Let me read some of the... Oh, I was reading some of the comment. I went far with this. Okay. All of these things that I've said, I have them all. Either on this channel or on my other channel. This is why YouTube is giving me a problem with my channel. Okay, Jeffrey, he never will. Mama made sure he was protected before she died. Her favorite could do no wrong. Okay. You guys are so predictable and pathetic. What's so predictable and pathetic? What was the original thing was? This about the title. Okay, whatever. The UK needs to do what needs to be done to remove the Duke of Sussex title if they need to. Okay, that's okay, let's read this. Okay, whatever is here, that's it. Okay, Harry and Meghan should lose their title by telling their story. So far, there has been no bombshell or attack on the royals, just their story, and only the press come under attack, yet they should lose their title. I don't see anyone demanding Andrew lose his title. Funny that. Which is pretty much that. Okay, that's odd, because everywhere you look, people are calling for Andrew to lose his title. Where? just proves how blanketed people are these days. No one is prepared to stop and consider point objectively, all too tribal for my liking. Alright, whatever, they'll be popular no matter what. This will just make the royal family and their titles seem silly, and also make it easier to take titles away from other royals. Alright, so let's see this one. Popularity will increase, I believe, and I think the UK royals knows it. That's why Charles is dithering. The king and the government have refused to support an MP's effort to change the law to allow the monarch to strip royal titles from members of the royal family. The guy was running his mouth. This is what I said. He's in a position of power. Do what you need to do to remove the titles. It is in his best interest not to allow that, because the next bill might be to allow UK to elect their own king with the way things are going. You nailed it. Exactly. Okay, titles or no titles, it won't make a jot of a difference. If titles are everything, why aren't William and Kate or even old Charles flying above every one of them in the world? Thank you. Alright, this is the thing. And they get upset because Netflix, a 59 second, is it 59 second? Not even a minute. How long was that thing? The preview of the Netflix thing. Okay, they got upset of it because it overshadowed the Earthshot thing that was going on in Boston. Okay, no one admits Harry and Meghan anywhere because they have titles, but rather what they stand for and do. Alright, let's see here. Thank you. Titles are in the draw. Case in point. Okay, a grand total of 300. Oh yeah, I shared that on another video. A grand total of 302 people watched the Prince of Wales Earthshot on PBS, while the show called Harry and Meghan Netflix, not the Duke and Duchess of Sussex show, is #1 around the world and even moved Netflix stock price. Okay, Netflix increase. Wow, $322.39. Wow. Okay, I love the series. I was never a big fan of the Duchess of Sussex, but now I see she is a very bright, intelligent lady. I mean, they've been telling people that. I mean, Meghan then go in your face and say, look how intelligent I am. But you could look at her action. I always say, the few seconds, literally, in my eyes, okay? You guys always come after me about that. In my eyes, the few seconds she was in the UK, she did so much for the UK, with the hub community, smart works, and I believe some shelter, the dog shelter, and some other things I probably don't even know of. Okay, for the UK people than the other royals have done in their whole entire life. Okay, but you guys listen to the tabloid and chase her out. All right, let's see here. I love the series. I was never a big fan of Duchess of Sussex, but now I see she is a very bright, intelligent lady, and with or without a title, she is a treasure. Duke of Sussex has always been a favorite of mine because he is a mirror image of Princess Diana. Okay, very well said. Thank you for sharing. Like I said, I knew Meghan existed, but I never followed her. But the amount of abuse she was receiving, hey, you see my channel now. Okay, and it's almost the same thing with Johnny Depp. Remember, I used to share with you some of the Johnny Depp thing because the unfairness that I saw was going on. Okay, once he win his case, and then I was going on because there's some appeal that's still going on. Okay, so I wanted to check up and see how that going on. So I was joining some of the chat area. Okay, someone was talking, not with me, but I was reading. All right, making us seem that they are the, I don't know. You know how the Britney Spears, I was also sharing the Britney Spears stories as well because the unfairness that I saw was going on. But when I saw the people, their fan, or talking among each other, like they've been there for so long, so don't come and tell me what to do, this kind of thing. I was like, you know, again, like I said, I was not part of the conversation, but I was just reading, and I was like, you know what, I don't need to be in that anymore. Johnny Depp won his case, and then the other one which I saw was making some false allegation, so I'm happy with the result. I move on, but occasionally I check in to see how it's going though. But you don't see me sharing those things on my videos, but here I am talking about it. All right, okay, might as well remove the title. It's not as either of them want to be part of the royal family anyway. Okay, don't bring this thing here. All right, Harry never said anything about the royal family. Even though the amount of abuse he went through from the royal family, not once have I heard him say anything about the family. when they talk about the Queen, he's always saying nice thing. You know, the reason I'm saying the Queen is dead now. But when he took the private meeting to meet with the Queen, privately, nobody knew. Okay? Talk very nicely, positively about the Queen.
How did it feel being back? Being with her.
Being with her, it was great. It was just so nice to see her. You know, she's on great form. She's always got a great sense of humour with me, and I'm just making sure that she's, you know, protected and got the right people around.
Well, let's read what's in there. Okay, I'm begging you, short-sighted people, to please strip Harry and Meghan of titles. They really don't need them. Doing so will reinforce their star power. 2. It will turn the idea of hereditary monarchy on its head and provide much precedent and process to abolish the monarchy. Okay, let's read this and then that's it. Just take them. We're sick of this crap. The whining and the whining. Okay, the whining and whining from you all is pathetic. Your king doesn't agree with you. Fancy disrespecting your king. Like that, everyone had to respect the Queen. I love Harry and Meghan, title or not simple. Okay? The king and the government have refused to support MP's effort to change the law to allow the monarch to strip royal titles from members of the royal family. Okay? King Charles refuses to back plot to axe Harry and Meghan's royal title. Meanwhile, okay, look what happened during the funeral. Some of the things that I said, is it not Netherlands? What's the other one? Queen Crown of, is it Denmark? I think it's Denmark. Crown Prince of Denmark. I think it is. I'll put the screenshot of whatever countries that I'm thinking. I'm confused. Okay, it is Denmark, not Netherlands. Denmark. Where out of the blue, okay, for some reason that particular queen felt like she had to strip her I don't know, her grandkids' titles or something like that. It was around that time where the idea for him, he thought it was a good idea to remove Harry's title, but he didn't know how to. But to make example out of people, when he does do it, to say this is why I'm removing it. There's other people who's doing it. There's always, okay. He push people in front to go and do it. But now when it's his turn, he can do it. Now that he see the ripple effect, if he does it, what will happen? Now he's chicken out. Okay? So the reason, I really don't think that Queen was gonna do it, but they give her a test and said, this is what the media can do to you if you don't do what I said. I've said this. From my humble opinion, this is how I read the nonsense that was going on. Okay, my humble opinion. Okay, they used the crown princess of Denmark, who met with Frederick or something like that, and said, if you don't do this, this is an example what the media could do to your family. And next thing I know, I was seeing things about the grandkids, some things that went in school. Go look at that video. I'm like, where did that come from? And then I realized the invite and uninvite was a test to say, this is what we could do to you. They used the media as a weapon. And I said, I truly believe she did it to protect the kids. Okay, as awful the steps that she did, but it weighed out the other things that could have happened. So she decided to do it and say, I'm gonna do it, but leave me alone. Don't talk to me about shit anymore. Okay, that's what I think happened. So she did it. But now, when it's time for Charles to do it, he can do it. Why? Because those MPs and the monarch work hands in hand. I've said it. Okay, now that they see the ripple effect of it, probably the whatever MP who was trying to put that bill in, he or she probably not playing that game with the monarch. Okay, probably they elect that particular person to do the job, and she was willing to do the job, but they, the majority went, so they refused to do it. Alright, so that's what happened. But the Tories are pretty much an extinction of the monarch. They work hand in hand, but the Tories use the monarch as the forefront. Okay, the face to do their thing, they hide behind the monarch. Meanwhile, they doing their thing. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. I'll pretend you didn't do anything, and don't look at what I'm doing right there. This kind of thing. So when you have two branches work hand in hand, there's a problem here, where each one of them were supposed to check each other out. This is why they don't like Harry. Harry was checking them out and said, you can't do this. So they don't like Harry for that. So this is why they smearing Harry's name all over, because Harry was putting them in check. Okay? And this is why the US have 3 branches of government. When all 3 were working together, at least 2 I will say, okay? But they were trying to get all 3 branches working hand in hand. There's a problem. Okay? When they work together as one doing negative thing to the country is a problem. You're supposed to work for the people, and at the same time each one of you are checking each other out and say, okay, if you're doing this, then I should be having that. If you're doing this, then and that. Okay, give and take kind of thing, where there is discussion. This is why Obama was saying, when you're making deals, you don't always get what you want, but you get something to move forward. Okay, he didn't say it like that, but that's but what these people were trying to do, make all 3 branches in the US, but in the UK, I believe it's 2 branches, maybe 3, because you have the court system. I don't know exactly how it works. Okay, but at least the court system is still hanging on. People who have the money, the means to call people to court, the right thing usually happen. With the exception of Johnny Depp, something had happened, but this judge was about to retire. They buy him out. But anyway, different story. What I'm saying here, in the US, where the 3 branches were during Trump era, they were trying to work together. Okay, then we're not checking each other out. And then the UK, you have the MPs, the Tories, and the monarch working hand in hand. So you have the problem. Okay, this is why food is not. People can pay their bills, they can put food on the table, and all of that. And in the US, back then, during Trump era, we're heading the same direction. And we put a stop to it. And we're still fighting. Alright? So, let's go to my last tweet for this video. And then I have another video that I'm going to make, but it's going to be, I don't know what I have in it. Next one. Is that a video? Okay, let's see this one. Do you remember when the media pretended they would be cool with Harry and Meghan as long as they didn't take taxpayers' money? All right, let's listen to that. 12 seconds.
I want to be, and I absolutely agree, but you can't be like normal people and then live in a house that's paid for by the taxpayer. If you want to be a normal person, then that's fine, but you pay for yourself.
Hey, why don't they leave them alone now? They pay back the fragment. But there's still problem. They keep on raising the goalpost. Okay, the goalpost. Each time Harry solved the problem, they raise it again. They didn't expect Harry to have money. They wanted Harry to crawl back. But thank God, with the energy, the whatever miracle that happened to him, okay, in the palace, to make him stick to his gun, his core values, and then find a woman who fight with him. Okay, so he solved the problem, but yet you're still in his ass. So now he's taking his thing to Netflix and he's making money off of it. Hey, guess what? That's his story. Specifically Meghan. Okay, privacy is where...
Privacy is about the right to own and control what personal information you choose to share with somebody.
Let me put the lawyer's term of privacy. All right, but he wanted the line. When he wants to share with you, he share with you. So now he's sharing at his own term and he's making money off of it. You guys hate that. Okay, you wanted to create your own narrative about him. He's telling you, no, what they wrote about me, it's not true. This is what happened. Okay, then you have Harry and Meghan together telling us their recollection. Okay, like they usually say, recollection may vary. Okay, when Meghan was saying the first date, Harry was coming in late, all sweaty and all of that, and he was like, I'm not having this. But when she realized he was really late and he was sweating getting in there, so she forgave him. Okay, this is a woman with standard. Okay, don't put up with crap. All right, so this is why Harry saw this is the woman of my life. The first date. Okay, he knew from the get-go. But you guys still in his back. Okay, our taxes, they asked not to take taxes. Go away, they went away. But flag more money, money was paid back. Goalposts keep shifting. Okay, that's that. Does she mind William and Kate for 4 homes? Hey, they don't see that. Something in the brain is completely removed to make sure you don't hear about that. They could fund Pedro's underage yacht parties and all Billy's lily white kids, but they drew the line at the mixed 6th in line to the throne. How very dare Meghan get pregnant? Who did she think she is? Beyonce? Okay. After this, that's set, and then we're gonna do a prayer, and then I'll do the other video. Okay, I just read that who will pay for Meghan's, Markle, and Prince Harry's baby? Will taxpayers foot the bill? All right, so you could read this. All right, let's see here. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but during this time, wasn't Meghan paying for herself anyway? She wasn't costing the taxpayers' money. They use the taxpayers' money excuse as a way to browbeat Meghan and Harry and claim the public was entitled to pictures of their baby thrifting. All right, one of the papers had targeted outfit she had on was she was out on engagement. They say it had cost so much money. It was an outfit Meghan had worn before she had even met Harry. Hypocrites. They will love lazy inept Kate to have a quarter of Meghan's intelligence and charisma. Okay, then they attack them for not taking taxpayers' money. That makes sense, because they want to have control of it, and Harry and Meghan said, no, you can't control me. This is the same with titles. When they drop those titles, the British press and people will still vilify them. Yep, they're gonna find something else, so let them boggle up in that. Okay, keep their mind occupied with the title, because everybody see the title doesn't make a person. If that's the case, like some of the tweet that I just read, how come William Earthshot didn't draw so many people? He flew all those people and the celebrities. How come the Earthshot didn't make it big in the US? All right, they demanded Harry and Meghan pay back renovation costs, which they did, and that generate more hate for them. Okay, we also remember when they said she will leave and they will stop talking about them. Yep, UK kept changing the rules, and the end nothing will stop the daily business of tormented Harry and Meghan. Meghan losing a baby, Palace denying mental health, then repaying $2 million for wedding gifts home, even leaving the UK completely, the tormentors of Firm and Fleet Street. Look, I don't want to sound racist, but okay, yeah, leave them in their whatever is in their mind. Let's do prayer. Prayer for what? Prayer for... Why do I don't know. Okay, if you see what I wrote here, that's what came in my mind, and I'm just if there is a no, not child, whatever. Okay, there it is. Gilded protection. I don't know. Prayer protecting your family. There's side prayers. There's none. Let's look for an image. Let's do this one. Okay, Father, here I am before your throne with heavy heart and an anxious mind. Come, Lord, and fill me with your holy presence. Let me rest and be at peace. Let me feel your protection. Let me feel as if I'm under the shadow of your wings, safe, hidden, and secure in you. Only you can give and take it all. I pray, Father, please take my fear away and give me your peace that surpasses all understanding. You know that my life is in your hands. My trust and my hope is on you alone. Father, thank you in the name of Jesus. Amen. All right, so that's it. I'm gonna do another video, so please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you, and new subscribers, welcome. All right, so I'm gonna stop and do video number 2. Let's see, video number 2, to give you a hint what is gonna be, because sometimes YouTube approve them different videos before different ones. Okay, so whichever they approve first, that's the one I make public, so the numbers don't always go accordingly. All right, so the next video, oops, let me not go there. The next video is gonna be about this, not that one. I did this already. It's gonna be about this TikTok thing. All right, so that's it. Thank you for watching.
for me, it's an added member of the family. It's another team player as part of the bigger team. And you know, for all of us, all we want to do is be able to carry out the right engagements, carry out our work, and try and encourage others and the younger generation to be able to see the world in the correct sense, rather than perhaps having a distorted view.